командующий армией Донецкой Народной Республики.
Last week and again this week, both you and Jen were very dismissive of these reports of thousands of people fleeing Ukraine into Russia.
I'm going to be again today, but let's talk about it a little bit.
Yeah, well, last Friday, in response to my saying, my question, which was, have you seen nothing like this, that there is no mass exodus or even close to thousands that are crossing the border from Ukraine into Russia, fleeing their homes? And Jen replied, correct. And then I asked again on Monday, and I said, it's still your understanding that reports in Russia of enormous amounts of refugee flows are incorrect? And you said, incorrect, yes. Well, today, the UN Refugee Agency comes out in Geneva and says that 110,000 Ukrainians have fled this year for Russia, fled Ukraine to Russia, and that 54,000 have fled their homes in Ukraine but have stayed in Ukraine. I'm wondering, were you guys just completely misled by the Ukrainians and by
We don't think those numbers are credible.
You think that the
Right, so
UN
let's talk about
Refugee
this a little
Agency
bit.
is
Let's
wrong?
talk about this a little bit. Look, it is certainly likely and probable, right, that some thousands may have crossed the border. There's been quite a bit of border crossing both ways, we should note. So there's been people go back and forth quite frequently. This is as we've now seen, fairly porous border. So the notion that there may be, some thousands that have crossed is certainly probable. What we're saying is not credible is the notion that there's 90,000, hundreds of thousands that are fleeing from Ukraine to Russia. We just have seen no evidence to support that. We don't believe they're credible. We're watching, we're monitoring the situation, and obviously this is, this isn't a science, this is an art in some respects because you can't have people all along the border, but we just don't think that the hundreds of thousands number is credible. We don't have anything to corroborate it.
But it's not hundreds of thousands, it's 110,000.
Or that 100,000, we just don't have anything to corroborate that or show that it's credible.
Okay, so you...
We don't have our own evidence.
Okay, fair enough, but then that's understandable, but this is the UN. This isn't the Russians saying this. This is the United Nations.
I'm not saying there's
This is an agency that you guys give millions and millions of dollars to, and they're now no longer credible?
We don't have anything to back up that number, Matt.
Well, but you cite UNHCR and you cite the UN Human Rights Commission on plenty of things that you have don't have your own evidence to back up.
I don't think that's necessarily true.
Well,
when we use numbers from people outside agencies, I think we tend to back them up with our own analysis as well. But on this, we just don't have anything to corroborate this,
You do, so that when they say something about North Korea, where you have absolutely no idea what's going on, you don't have anyone on the ground.
I would take issue with a little bit, have absolutely no idea what's going on.
Yeah, but there's no way that you can back up World Food Program statistics on hunger or malnutrition in North Korea on your own. You just take them and you accept them as credible because they come from the UN.
Sweeping generalizations about how we do analysis.
Is it something with the UN Refugee Agency that you don't believe?
No, again, we've seen numbers thrown around by a number of people, including the Russians. We don't have we don't think that those huge numbers are credible. We don't have information to back it up. So until we do, I'm not going to stand up here and make assumptions without having facts. So we'll keep looking at it. And again,
some would argue that you're doing that already.
Well,
no?
I'm happy to have that argument with someone, whoever that someone might be. But my point is, look, as I said, I conceded the fact that there are numbers of people who do travel back and forth.
Yeah.
It's a very porous border. There are families that have contacts on both sides. So I can't rule out the possibility that even up to thousands of people have crossed one way or the other.
Okay.
But this notion that there's 100,000 Ukrainians who have fled en masse to Russia, we just don't believe is credible at this point. We're looking into it. I'm not ruling it out entirely for eternity that we ever could get to that assessment, but we just don't have anything to back it up.
Okay, but is there anything else? Can I ask, do you have doubts about the UN High Commissioner for Refugees on other
We don't.
in other
Look, this is
situations?
a
This is the
credible
only
organization. Right. It's a credible organization, and we're looking into these reports and seeing if we can confirm them.
It's a credible organization with incredible figures.
We just can't confirm their data on this one issue, Matt. I think you can understand that.